I really wish we recorded. Every week, I wish we recorded what goes on before we go.
Why are we so dumb?
It's the best part.
Oh, guys, welcome back to the Geek Boutique podcast.
What's up, everybody? We are the Geeks and Company, and that's right. This is the Geek Boutique podcast. Mr. G to the off.
G to the off. G to the E off.
What's going on, buddy?
I'm telling you, man. I'm getting ready, dude. I'm off. I'm off tomorrow. So I'm heading to Niagara Falls Comic Con tomorrow.
That's right.
I'll be there all 3 days. Mostly hanging out with our good friend Michael Icon. I don't think a lot of I don't know how many of the faithful are actually going to be there. I do think Keith is going to be there, but I don't know how many of the regular tune-in folk are going to be there. So
are you guys going to be you guys going to be both wearing Hawaiian shirts all weekend, or are you going to actually
maybe I don't know, like not at the con, but maybe after the con. Like this is you are, says Michael Icon. I don't think I'm going to really care what I'm wearing, because I plan on being a piss tank literally from the time I get there to the time I leave. So I even booked Monday off this year specifically so I would have a day to recover, because I'm going to be a hungover piece of shit after Niagara Falls Comic Con. And woo, I don't care. It's going to be great. Superb. Yo, buddy Rob. What's going on, dude?
Yo, buddy Rob.
Yo, buddy
Rob in the house.
Whoop, whoop. I'm not even. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah, cheers. How you doing? There we go.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Weekend at Bernie's. That's what I'm getting. Weekend at Bernie's vibes from you right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Now I see it.
That's what I was getting.
Okay.
So who are the two, and who's the dead guy? Am I Bernie?
Yeah, you're Bernie for
You're
sure.
Bernie.
Cool. That's you, dude. Perfect.
Especially when you're talking about how you're going to be at Niagara Falls Comic Con the next day.
I'm going to be a weight pill. Yeah, exactly. Smart move. I book Mondays off after Fan Expo London Comic Con as standard now. Yeah, I don't always have the option, Andre. I'm in a union shop, and I work with a shit ton of people, so it comes down to availability and seniority and all kinds of jazz. But yes, thankfully, no one already had Monday off. So I'm off tomorrow, and I'm off Mondays. It's an extra long weekend for you, boy, and I plan on taking full advantage.
Yeah, when we do the full Fan Expo weekend, I like to take the Monday off. It's a big weekend.
And I try every time, and every time I can never get it off. So I'm off almost the entire month of August, but I go back to work on the Monday after Fan Expo.
Oh, that's
fucking moron. Yeah, I know.
Poor planning.
Brutal.
Well, I'm assuming it's a seniority thing, right? There's somebody above you that has
that, and they block out time for week-long vacations for people. And so even if I have seniority over somebody else, if they've got a block of a week, but I only want a single day, they get priority, even if they're lower on the seniority.
That's fair, right? I mean,
no, absolutely. I don't want to fuck up.
I mean,
no, it's fine. I've gone to work many a time hungover from a con weekend. That's not going to stop anytime soon. So
my first rodeo.
Fine.
There's a bunch of people in the chat already. Mr. Wayne Cuffy, hello, Geeks and Co. What's up, buddy? Andre, Nada, Marcy, Keith, Michael, Mr. Michael. What's going on, everybody?
Michael.
Do we just get started? Do you have anything else you wanted to? Actually, you're a busy guy right now.
A little bit.
Quickly right now. Should we talk about this right now, or should we wait till the community news?
What do you think?
You know what? We're gonna do something special next week. Yeah, we're doing something special next week. Something we've never actually done on this podcast. This is going to be a first for us, and hopefully YouTube doesn't think there's shenanigans going on and shuts our stream down. But we'll tell you guys in a little bit what we're going to be doing. Let's keep it for a little bit later in the discussion to try to keep the people around here, because this is going to be, I think, a fun one, and one that I don't think anybody's going to want to miss.
I mean, I do, but there's reasons. So it's fine.
Well, you know,
can't miss it, but here we are. It's going to be good.
No, you sure cannot miss this one. No. Not allowed. No. But you know what time it is, though?
What time is it? It's the news, brought to you by the Geeks and Company. Hungover as balls. Oh, I got a little Bill Curtis there. That's good. I don't even know what I have on the news. Oh, what do we have? Yeah. First up, I want to put everybody's feelings to rest. I mentioned last week that Michael Bay was apparently working on or developing or ready to start shooting a Skibbity toilet movie. Whatever that report came out, he has since denied that is happening. So he did like some sort of he took a picture of his desk. It had a bunch of scripts on it. Some were in development, some were finished writing, some he was just starting to put through, and he said none of them say Skibbity on it. So he said it's not happening. I don't know that necessarily means that we're not getting some sort of a Skibbity toilet movie. Good Lord help us. But if we are, it's not going to be produced and or written and or directed by the king of explosions, Michael Bay. So you can
I couldn't
that goes.
put 2 and 2 together there with the research I did after the show on what that was in Michael Bay.
Crazy
couldn't link them
town.
together.
Crazy town. As Andre will say, thank Christ. Yes,
yeah, it doesn't.
absolutely.
It didn't make any sense to me either. Then again, let's not put it past a big time Hollywood director to say he's not doing something. And
no, for sure.
Showing you a bunch of scripts. Meanwhile, one of them is just called something else because that's the word
Right.
for the
That's right. Yes.
So I'm not saying that it's still happening. Thank God.
No, fair.
I don't get it.
No, I super don't get it either. But I don't think we're meant to get it. And that's fine.
Yeah, it's okay. Listen, it is.
It's going to make like $2 billion.
That's right. And we're just going to be like old man shakes fist at cloud, right? Like it's not, yeah. What are you
listen, good. I mean, if it makes $1 billion, man, hey.
Well, we don't know if it's happening or not yet, so we're just gonna, we'll put a.
We'll keep everybody up to date.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. There's lots of Marvel news kicking around. I'm going to kind of bounce around. We've got like a list that we work off of, and I do put stuff there, but I don't always go in the order because I try to like keep higher discussion things more towards the end of the segment. But I do want to mention a couple of different things. Charlie Cox has recently been talking about. That's of course the gentleman that plays Daredevil on, in this case, Daredevil Born Again. Of course, he was on She-Hulk and then the original Netflix series, and he had a brief cameo in Spider-Man: No Way Home. But at this point, he apparently is unclear if that character is ever going to feature in the films at all. In fact, he said something recently, literally talking about write in, like let Marvel know through social media and everything else that you want more of Daredevil. So he seems even unclear of what's going to happen to the character after season 2 of the show. So I saw a report just the other day that Daredevil is Born Again is the first Marvel show not to break the top 10 Nielsen ratings for a Marvel TV show. So, which I find incredibly hard to believe because I know a lot of people are watching this, but I don't know if the normies in the States just aren't tuning into it or whatever. But if you guys are watching Daredevil Born Again, do you want more after season 2? Would you like to see him transition over to the main MCU? Do you want them to try to keep things more separate as they've been trying to do with the TV stuff is kind of over here and the movie stuff is kind of over here? Like, what are your thoughts? I don't know. I haven't watched it, so I don't have anything invested, so I don't really care.
Yeah, I'm going to say something that is going to sound really, really bad, and
please.
It kind of sucks that I'm saying this, but I watched the first 3 or 4 episodes, and then I've never gone back to watch. Oh yeah, great beer, great beer. Unfortunately, you can't get any more of that. It's
nope. After this, 2 left.
Yeah, I still have a 6-pack I haven't touched yet. I left it in the garage specifically so I wouldn't touch it.
Good. Next time I'm there, I'll help you drink it.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't even know where to go with this.
Well, you said you were going to say something unpopular. So what do you mean? Like,
yeah, I dropped out after 4 episodes, right? And then I've not got back to it. And I a lot of people I'm sure are watching it, but I don't hear the rumble about it that you heard when it was on Netflix. Anytime something new Daredevil came out when it was on Netflix, everybody was talking about it, right? Everybody wanted to cosplay Daredevil. Everybody wanted to cosplay the Punisher. Now it's like, it's just another show. So I don't know. Is there going to be another season after season 2?
Are you watching it, Rob? I know you initially started.
I've watched it. Yeah, I've watched it and finished it.
And
I enjoyed it.
Like, do you have an investment? Would you like to see him kind of like transition to the big screen, or does that matter to you at all?
I don't. It doesn't. I don't have any strong opinions about it, but I'm perfectly happy and fine with being out of it. Not intentionally, just those 2
right.
When you take like the street level characters and you put them in an Avengers movie, it just kind of sometimes maybe doesn't line up.
Yeah,
and
fair.
Why do that when, especially with the Netflix universe.
Sure.
Street level characters fit so good together, right?
Yes. No, agreed.
Yeah.
Because now they brought Jessica Jones into Daredevil as well, and from what I'm hearing, there's a good chance we're going to see Luke Cage and Iron Fist as well. Like they're bringing like the Defenders now sort of into the Disney Plus shows and such. And you're right, like those are all.
I'm okay with that being the universe, right?
Yeah,
You don't need to mix that into Doomsday or Secret Wars or something, right?
Yep.
Andre has a good point there.
Yeah, he's talking about how R-rated stuff on Disney might not fare as well for whatever reason. Parental blockers, family-friendly vibe around Disney. Yep, no, that's fair.
That's a good point. Or people just not even subscribing, right, to Disney Plus because they expect the family stuff.
And it feels like they were kind of in a bit of a catch-22 because do they pay homage and try to make it closer to what the Netflix shows look like, which seemed to be what people wanted in the first place because the Netflix show was very popular, sort of launched that whole little mini universe they had in Netflix. But at the same time, now you got to contend with exactly what Andre and Rob is saying, like. Now you're like, oh shit! Like now you're not on Netflix anymore, man. Now you're on Disney Plus, like squeaky clean.
Like we had that discussion when they started talking about doing this show on Disney Plus, didn't we? On this podcast, we talked about we're gonna do an R-rated,
but
adult show on Disney.
Yeah,
it is a very weird.
Well, because now they have that special presentation coming up with the Punisher too. Yeah. What's that going to look like? I don't know how you do Punisher and not make that like he literally his superpower is killing people. Like there's no like that's it, right? Like that his whole shtick. If you take that away from him, he's not the Punisher anymore. Now he's like the finger wagger or whatever. You know what I mean? Like he kills people, he shoots them. That's what he does. That's his whole gig. That's his whole job. So yeah, good call.
Jamie brings up a point here in the chat that Disney Plus has adult shows on Star, but that's not where these shows air.
It's not where you're going for your Marvel superhero stuff. Yeah, that's a good point. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. Listen, it'll be interesting to see what happens to this character. I can't imagine we're going to see this character move on to the big screen. Maybe in a cameo again. I mean, we've already seen him in a cameo on Spider-Man, right?
Right.
Or in Spider-Man. So we might see more of him as a cameo like that, but are we ever going to get a Daredevil movie or a very heavily involved Daredevil in an MCU movie? I don't know. I don't imagine, especially the route that they're taking right now with the whole multiverse and all that stuff. That's galactic stuff. That's not street level stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And where I think their biggest mistake is right now is they should be working out a deal with Sony where Sony can make their own Spider-Man movies and they can keep making their Spider-Man in a TV show and make a Spider-Man TV show instead that is a reoccurring show. I bet you that, and then you can involve the street levels, the Kingpins, and have that whole universe like it is in the comics. Right, Spider-Man is part of that world in the comics. Bring him back into that world. Right.
So the problem is No Way Home made like $1.8 billion, and Disney's not going to give up that kind of check.
I know.
For a fucking TV show, that's the shit part, right? So
especially since the new one's in production now, anyway, right?
It's a very popular and profitable franchise for them. So
doesn't mean they can't bring Spider-Man in for cameo.
Oh no, I agree with you 100%. But basing a whole show around Spider-Man and relegating him to TV, unfortunately, due to dollars and cents, I don't foresee that happening.
Yeah,
but imagine the money that brings in to Disney Plus every month, right? Watching maybe. All of a sudden now you've got a whole ecosystem built around Spider-Man, and you could be pumping out 3-4 shows a year that all revolve in that one universe.
Yes, and one of them's good, and two of them are dog shit, and one of them's in a no. I don't want that. That's good. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's how they got in trouble in the first place. Don't do that.
Well, fair enough.
Speaking of some Marvel stuff, moving on, guys. Chris Hemsworth seems to enjoy torturing fans on Marvel because this is not the first time he's done this. So he just put out a big missive, first of all, on his social media, talking about how much he's loved his time as the character of Thor. It's been 17 years. It's been quite like he's making it sound like in the post. If any of you have read the post, he's certainly making it sound like he's giving up the role, like he's gotten too old. He's aged out. His time is done. He was 27 when he started. He's 42 now. And then he put together, or somebody put together for him, I'm sure, but he released a Legacy of Thor video where it basically gives us like Thor right from the Kenneth Branagh, the first movie, all the way up through Love and Thunder and such. And a lot of fans initially were like, fuck, man, is he done? Is that what this means? Because it reads like he is, But then people went back, and I guess this is like the third time he's posted something on his social media over the course of these years, saying basically like, I've really loved playing this character. I've enjoyed my time. Like he's talking it like in the past tense, like he's all done with it. So it kind of triggered a lot of people.
Contract renewal.
I'm sure he's doing some negotiation in the media. I mean, he is confirmed for Doomsday. Obviously, his name was on one of those chairs that was there on that big reveal. But whether he's contracted for anything past Doomsday, who knows? And while I'm sure there's like a team of people that get him as jacked as he gets for those films, and I'm sure there's a lot of illicit drugs and materials that go into getting him that jacked, it's still a lot of work for him to get that big. Because you only have to see him in other things that aren't Thor to see. He doesn't normally carry around that much bulk. He's clearly bulking up specifically for Thor. So I'm sure it's a lot of work, and the older you get, that's harder and harder to do. So, yeah, you're probably right. It's probably a little bit of negotiating in the media, right? So, Sony still on Spidey, so that's you guys are talking about. Oh yeah, Redmond Glassworks loading in at NFCC. Very very cool.
Oh yeah, nice
for sure. Yeah. So moving on, the live action Voltron movie has wrapped filming. So. This is one of Henry Cavill's current projects, so he's the star of the live-action Voltron movie. If you are not an old, like we're olds, Voltron was sort of the first, I want to say the first major, is it the first major car? It's the first thing I remember seeing where 5 smaller robots made a giant robot. Did Transformers do it before Voltron?
You know what? That's a good question. I don't think so. Transformers, I think, existed before Voltron, but I think the combiners in Transformers came like after the popularity of Voltron.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah. So if you're not familiar, it's very like the Power Rangers are essentially like a ripoff of Voltron, basically.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Like a full blown ripoff, like 5 warriors in suits jump into 5 different. I think they were lion-based things, right? Yeah. And then those 5 lion-based things come together and make a giant fucking robot called Voltron. To get a sword and everything else. So it was a popular cartoon way back in the day, in our day. And then I know they rebooted it, I think I want to say for Netflix. 3 times it's been rebooted?
There's been 3 different Voltron shows since the original.
I didn't know that.
And the Netflix show, I'm going to be very, very, very honest. If you've not watched the Voltron Netflix show, go watch it.
Oh, it's good. Oh, good. Okay.
I really, really liked it. It's very anime, right? Let's be honest. Voltron was one of the first anime, 80s anime big robot shows that was brought to the US and dubbed into American, right? Voltron, Transor Z. There was a couple back in those days.
Sure.
But those big, giant...
Macross cartoons. And all that. Yeah.
Macross. Although I think Macross came after.
No, I'm sure it did. I'm just saying it was part of that.
But either way, it was in that time period. Yeah, the big. Yeah. So it's still that, but now it's in modern animation. Yeah, go check it out. If you not watch it, I'm excited for this movie. I'm not gonna lie. I was a big Voltron fan when I was a kid. I had a little Voltron. My buddy had like a 3 foot tall Voltron.
No way.
Yeah.
Did it all come apart into individual?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Even the small one did, but the big one was amazing because the characters actually, the action figures went into the lions.
And then the lions.
And then the lions combined into Voltron. Whereas my little one, you can stick action figures in it, but still. Yeah. See, Keith is saying Voltron on Netflix is awesome. Yeah, it's a great show.
Astro Boy. Yes, also very, very cool.
Astro Boy was also a very
early anime.
Yeah.
There is a rumor floating around right now that Mark Ruffalo may be coming. So, again, really quick, did you know? So, the distribution rights to the Incredible Hulk are owned by Universal. In fact, if you go back and watch the Incredible Hulk with Ed Norton, which is technically an MCU movie, you're going to see the Universal banner come up at the beginning of that film, which looks super out of place and weird if you go back and watch them now.
Yeah,
Universal owns the distribution rights to the Incredible Hulk on the movie screen in perpetuity, forever, kids. So the only way they can use the Hulk in all the subsequent movies is to not have the Hulk be the main character of the film, but a supporting character. And that's why you see Ruffalo as the Hulk kind of gets shoved into a lot of other movies that he's not necessarily, the star of or whatever. So the rumor we're going around right now, although it has not been confirmed by anybody on high, is that he will appear in Spider-Man Brand New Day, Spider-Man 4. So I don't know if he's supposed to take over kind of like the mentor role that that Tony had beforehand. I don't know if that's going to be what he's doing now. Of course, the last time we saw Ruffalo,
That rumor.
It's more than a rumor.
There's more to that rumor.
Oh, hit me.
Oh, okay. So the rumor is that he's able to turn back into Banner.
Okay.
So he's
Because
not
last we saw him, he had combined them, right?
correct, and now he was
even on She-Hulk.
Yeah, he was Professor Hulk, is what they called him in the comics, right? The Smart Hulk. He's like a mix of Banner and Hulk. The rumor is that he's now able to turn back into Banner, Bruce Banner. And somehow there's going to be some mind control fuckery again, like there was in Age of Ultron, and we're gonna get a Rage Hulk. So he's gonna go berserk again, and is probably going to be a big part of. He's like, I don't want to say he's going to be the villain, but it's going to be a villain in this movie. Is the rumor?
Right. I'll read to you where the site that's claiming he's going to be in it is. They're saying it's a substantial role in the film, akin to Tony Stark in the first Spidey, Nick Fury in the second, and Doctor Strange in the third. In terms of screen time. But you're right. The last time we saw him, he was in She-Hulk Attorney at Law. We got to see his son Sakaar, and he's also able to transform, as you said, between Banner as a human and his Professor Hulk form, which I don't really get. If he keeps all his smarts and such, then I don't know what the difference.
I don't know what the point is. Yeah,
I don't know what the point of his transforming back and forth. But
so potentially, because if we remember what happened at the end there, everybody forgot who Spider-Man was, Peter Parker, right? So I read that how they make sense of this is that Bruce Banner doesn't remember who Spider-Man is, Peter Parker, but the Hulk is.
Very cool. I like
that's
that.
Clever.
That's not bad.
Clever.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
that's pretty clever. Yeah, you're right. That is clever. I do like that. All right,
that's a good. Did you know? That's
spoiler alert.
Well, no, that's what
like
the new segments are for, man. We're trying to have the discussion. That's a really cool way to make that happen. Yeah, I like that.
I like this rumor.
Yep, we'll take it. Yeah. Speaking of the next couple of Avengers films, you guys have probably already seen this, but both Doomsday and Secret Wars have been delayed 7 months. They will no longer be summer releases. Both movies are going to release in December of 2026 and December of 2027 will be Doomsday and Secret Wars, which clearly indicates, much like Infinity War and Endgame, they're being shot back to back since there's only going to be a year between them. But now the internet is flipping out. While this happened, by the way, shortly after, they did this on one day, and then the very next day they took, I think it was 2 different untitled Marvel projects in 2026 and 2027 off the schedule. Like, just completely, we're not doing movies for that time. So now everybody's like, what the fuck is going on? Like, are we going to look at a soft reboot? Are we looking at something else? Like, we know X-Men are coming, but I mean, the movies and TV shows are just not performing as they once were, regardless seemingly of how they're being received, which we're going to get to here in a second. But is it bad that we're having to wait an extra 7 months for Doomsday and Secret Wars? Is it bad that Marvel's taking films right off the slate and not replacing them or just moving them to a different time in the slate? They're just taking them off, like we're not doing movies for those times. Like, what the fuck is going on with our boys at Marvel?
Good question. Good question. I've been hearing a lot of specific rumors about Fantastic Four and how Reed Richards is basically going to be the cause for the whole multiverse breaking thing that's going to reunite a bunch of people. He's going to be the reason for Galactus to coming to his Earth in his universe and destroying his Earth, where the Fantastic Four have to escape to, what is it again? This 616? No, that's the comic book universe.
Yeah, but what's funny is in universe they refer to the movie universe as 616, but anywhere outside of that, the movie universe, the MCU, is referred to 19999.
Right.
Yeah.
The MCU, right? So I guess
in the MCU they call themselves 616 for some weird reason, even though that's the comic universe. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, that's kind of the rumor that I'm hearing, right? Them coming here is them escaping Galactus and then causing the whole, doomsday. Right?
Right.
And there's another rumor that I've been hearing about the why RDJ is playing Victor Von Doom. Would you guys like to hear another crazy rumor? I mean,
Sure.
Why not?
I love your completely unfounded rumors that I think you make up in your basement by yourself. I love these.
So the rumor, I think this was on Geek Tyrant that I read this. The rumor is that Tony Stark is actually an adopted child. He is not a Stark by blood. And when in Endgame he sees his dad, and his dad is saying that his mom is pregnant, that she's not pregnant of him, and that's why he has that reaction when he says that, because he knows he's adopted and that's not him. And that's the moment he realizes, wait a second, there was another kid. Now back up for a quick second. If he was adopted, who would he have been if he had not been adopted? Victor Von Doom.
This seems needlessly complicated, but by all means, sure. I mean, how fucking high?
Victor Von Doom.
Tell
And
me
that's
you didn't
why
just make this up in your basement. Tell me you're not just
universe,
fanficking the shit out of
in
this.
his universe, he's Victor Von Doom, and here he's Tony Stark.
I don't know if that's Jace or that's Elfie, but thank you for that. Give that
minute tinfoil hat. I mean, I like that. I like that theory.
That's
man.
awful.
I like that a lot myself.
JS, that's awful. Don't do that. That's awful. That's brutal.
I like it.
You see, he was adopted, and then the kid that she was actually pregnant with was actually Victor. No, don't do that. That's fucking lame.
No, the kid wasn't actually Victor.
Oh, he's
the
Victor.
kid. The kid clearly died. Or
see, I'm already confused by your terrible theory.
Right?
The unborn kid, they died.
Yeah.
So
we don't know what happened to that. He didn't. That's why he had that reaction when his dad told him that he was.
So you ripped off Bucky's arms over some foster folks? Like,
yeah.
What the fuck?
Well, I mean,
you're basically taking the entire plot of Civil War and making it completely meaningless. But yeah, I think we should totally go with that. That sounds wonderful. Who gave you this rumor other than your drunk uncle at the family reunion last week? Like, what the fuck are we doing?
Does it really matter?
Yeah, he is the drunk uncle. Yeah. That's the worst one you've ever come up with. Don't ever do that again.
Don't be surprised if it happens.
Terrible. I will.
And I feel like this rumor came about from some artwork that came out online that was apparently leaked artwork, but nobody knows if it was actually leaked artwork. That Doom suit was an Iron Man style suit.
I really hope. I would rather watch Michael Bay direct a Skibbity toilet movie than anything that you just said. So.
Well,
I hope that's not the case.
He's gonna be Doom anyway, so
we're gonna find out one way or another.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
I have two quick ones left, and then we'll move on. On Stephen Colbert's Late Show, he had Keanu Reeves on a few years ago, and he asked Keanu Reeves if there was one of your characters that you played over all these years that you could revisit in any way, shape, or form. Which character would that be? And without really much of a pause, Keanu said Constantine. I don't know if you've watched the first Constantine. It's pretty good. It doesn't live up to the comics at all, but it's still a pretty solid movie, and it did well financially. Apparently, after that conversation on the Colbert Show, whatever producer and director, whoever owns the rights to that property, approached Keanu about doing it. And now for the last 3 years, it's been languishing in developmental hell. Peter Stormare, who's an actor he's done a million different things, but he played Lucifer in the first Constantine, widely regarded, by the way, as the best rendering of Lucifer ever on screen, has said that he's close with Keanu, and they keep coming up with scripts for Constantine 2, and they're all dog shit. Like, Keanu keeps saying no to all these scripts. I guess they're basically making a John Wick version of Constantine. Like, it's all action-packed and fights and everything else, and Keanu wants to make it similar to the first film, where it's all grim and dark and spiritual.
That's what the Constantine world is supposed to look like, right?
Yeah. So if you're kind of like me, where when he said this and it turned out that it was getting developed, have you been eagerly awaiting? I just rewatched Constantine again recently, and again, I am a bit of a purist. It's almost nothing like the comics. It's still a really solid sci-fi actioner type demonic style movie.
Agreed.
If you're looking forward to the sequel, you're going to be waiting a while, because they're not even at a point where they have an approved script yet. And I guess a lot of that's coming from Keanu via Peter Stormare saying, I'm friends with Keanu, and he's saying all the scripts so far have been terrible. And apparently he has final say over whether they're going to do it based on the script. So I don't know. Hopefully something will happen. We'll see. Finally, guys, our last one, and I think this might be a little bit controversial, but I don't know who all in the chat.
Hang on.
Sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Can you please read that, kind sir?
What am I reading?
Oh, what's on screen?
Not that I'm siding with JS, but there is a comic story where but they've flat out said that he's not a Tony variant. They've flat out said repeatedly that he is playing Victor Von Doom.
Mm-hmm.
So don't encourage this guy in his crackpot tinfoil theories. Don't do that.
If he's not playing a variant, how does he look exactly the same?
I'm sure that's going to be addressed, but they've said flat out he's not. I'm just saying.
I'm really looking forward.
By the way,
to hearing
if
how they
it's
do
Doom in just a repainted Iron Man suit, fuck everything about all of it. I want nothing to do with that. That's lame as shit. We turn Iron Man into a bad guy. I'm out. Thanks. I'm out. What? Don't. Dumb as shit. Dumbest thing I ever heard.
And bring in Captain Hydra.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Dumb as shit. I don't think it's going to happen either. I think the audience would rebel as far as that goes. So you're going to take their beloved Tony Stark and you're going to turn him into a bad guy, like the same basic guy. You're just going to make him bad? No, I don't think that works. But we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he's right. Keith, fuck you for encouraging him, but it's fine. I love you. I love him. It's all good. Okay, we're going to talk about Thunderbolts here briefly, and I'm going to have like a little brief aside, a little brief Did You Know here at the top of the segment. We do have another Did You Know a little bit later on, but I'm going to talk about Thunderbolts for a bit. I don't know if you guys have seen Thunderbolts. I don't know who has. I have not. Raise your hands in the chat if you've watched or gone to see Thunderbolts, because I have not. Oh, look at that. That guy's seen it. And, Rob, did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah. It seems to be the general consensus. It reviewed well, right? Much better than Captain America Brave New World, which I did watch recently, and what a steaming pile of dog shit that movie is. Oh, yeah. Don't watch that movie. It's fucking terrible. Saw the Bulls twice. Really liked it. Thunderbolts, super fun movie. I enjoyed it. Okay, so I've seen it. So Marcy, Steve, Andre have all saying they saw it. It seems to be, and the critical reception, by the way, was also good, right? Much, much better than Brave New World. It seemed like Marvel was finally getting back to where they're supposed to be. Here's the problem. Loved it. Enjoyed. Look at that. See, everybody. It's going to lose money. And that really, really sucks. But I think it's important to note why it's going to lose money and how this actually works. Because JS and I have talked about this way back in the day, repeatedly throughout. So I'm going to give you a little brief Did You Know as far as how this works. Especially in the United States, a studio doesn't necessarily have to reveal how much the actual budget of a film is. A lot of the time, some kind of a number will get released. There's no way to really confirm that. If you're in the UK, by the way, you have to release it to the dollar as to what, for tax purposes, as to what your movie costs. But in the US, you don't quite have to do that. So a lot of times there's a rumored or a thought of number, and sometimes that number is plus or minus whatever. Right now, the reported budget for Thunderbolts is $180 million. When it comes time to a tentpole movie like Thunderbolts, the marketing spend for a movie of this particular nature is typically about half of what the production budget is. So that's another $90 million. So now the movie itself, to make the movie and get it in theaters to where people will watch it before the box office has started to roll in, is $270 million. I think Thunderbolts is sitting around 340, 350, 360 right now. And so you might be thinking to yourself, oh, cool, 360. It's going to make like almost $100 million. Here's the problem. Now, there are some variables depending on the country and how long a movie has been in a theater. The longer the movie has actually been in the theater, the bigger the take the studio gets. But on average, studios get about 50% of the total box office take of a film, and the theaters get the other 50%. So for a movie that's going to cost, with marketing costs, $270 million, it means the movie has to break $540 million globally before it's even going to enter profitability. Now, this doesn't take into effect tax cuts. It doesn't take into effect licensing for streaming services and stuff. And it doesn't take into effect any kind of merchandising, which is all going to happen afterwards. And by the way, for a movie like Thunderbolts, licensing is going to be tough because it's only going to show on Disney Plus, and Disney's not going to get paid to license their own film, right? Physical media still exists, but it's nowhere near what it used to be when DVD and Blu-ray sales could save a movie's budget and at least get it back up to a break-even point. You do get premium video on demand. Again, same thing. It's not the same as what physical media used to be as far as bringing that movie up. So right now, if let's say Thunderbolts closes out somewhere around north of 400 million, it's going to lose 140 million dollars globally for Disney. This is extraordinarily bad news for the Mouse House and for the MCU in general when they finally get a movie that's received well by critics and by audiences, and it's still going to lose over $100 million. I hate to break this to you. I don't care what the future plans are. They're not going to keep pumping out losers. It's just not going to happen. They're already talking about clawing back. They've already taken 2 films off the schedule completely. They're clawing back of the TV spend as well. This is how these movies work. And unfortunately, when you're getting a tentpole movie, if we don't go out and see it, and 2 out of 3 people in this little podcast have not, it's just not gonna. It's not gonna happen, right? Like it's just they've lost money on Thunderbolts, and it never should have lost money in the first place. For whatever reason, Brave New World actually grossed more money, not a lot more money. Brave New World also lost money, by the way, just so we're clear. I think it hit 405 or 407 or something globally. So it's still going to end up losing money, but not as much as Thunderbolts is going to lose.
I mean, it has the apparently it's the second worst earning MCU film ever so far.
Yeah. Do you think that how quickly these movies come out on Disney Plus now, combined with a little bit of perhaps Marvel fatigue and the fact that a lot of the stuff they've been putting out lately has not been very good? Like, is that all like working against them at this point? Like you're giving it for free. Well, not for free, but I mean, if you're already subscribed to Disney Plus, I'm going to get it for free in 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Why would I go see it in theater when I can watch it on my big screen? And like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know.
I've been saying it since they launched. Disney Plus killed the MCU, and I don't know how you'd argue. They shotgunned a bunch of TV shows out that didn't need to be out. They tried to tie them all into the movie, so now you got to do a bunch of fucking homework to go see this shit. And Thunderbolts, let's be fair, probably more homework than any other movie they've ever done. Every single character had appeared in a previous iteration of something, either a TV show or the movies or whatever. And I know they were like, well, you don't necessarily have to watch them to get the movie or to enjoy the movie. No, but it probably fucking helps if you know the backgrounds of all these characters. I think the only character they really introduced for the first time is the Sentry, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Everybody else, I think, had already been in previous projects.
100%.
Like, if you didn't watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier, you wouldn't know who the fuck John Walker is, and you wouldn't care.
Yeah, you wouldn't care.
Right?
Yeah.
But you have an entire television series to watch this guy's character development that if you didn't tune into, or Ghost, who appeared in like one Ant-Man movie that nobody gives a shit about, right?
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, but you still feel like you're not getting all that if you haven't watched all that. But if you haven't watched all that, what are you going to do? Are you going to go back and spend 20 hours watching television just so you can know these characters and know what's going on?
And I've seen all of those movies and shows going into that movie, and it was good, and people loved it. I liked it.
Yeah.
There's still something missing for me that I haven't been able to put my finger on, but
even
having seen all the backstory, I'm like,
sure,
okay.
There's still, fair enough.
Good.
So I haven't seen it, but I'm sure some of the comic book readers in the chat here will be able to corroborate what I'm about to say. But when they launched the New Avengers, the comic books, the New Avengers, which I guess is what this is supposed to be, right? Because at the end they rebrand them as the New Avengers. Sorry for the spoiler, guys. If you didn't,
no, they've published that everywhere.
Even on the posters, it's now New Avengers.
That's not a spoiler.
So I didn't understand that whole marketing campaign to begin with, but when they launched the New Avengers, the book was actually pretty good. Like it was different characters, and it was more of the B characters because it was time to give all the other characters a bit of a break. Let's be honest. The Avengers were mainly, when they came out, built of B characters anyway. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but Iron Man and Captain America and Black Widow and Hawkeye, and these were always more side characters in the comic books. Yeah, okay, they had their own comics, but they were never the X-Men, right? They were never some of the bigger books that would sell. So the Avengers was kind of the B team to begin with. So it made sense when they launched New Avengers. But in the same manner, people just didn't give a shit about it. And, 8 months later or a year later, they canceled it. And they just brought the Avengers back. Right? So I'm kind of wondering if this was a little bit of a misstep in how they used and branded this whole. I think the marketing,
unless they just bring
marketing was fucked around this
new Avengers into the next movie as like in the Secret Wars they fight or something. You know what I mean? And then
I'm sure they will
kill them all.
What do you do? Like, but if you're the head of Marvel, or you're Kevin Feige, or you're the money guys, and you're like, it reviewed well. The audiences loved it. The critics loved it. Everybody was talking about it, and nobody went to fucking see it. Like, what do you do?
I don't know.
What do you do? Do you keep cutting checks? Like, what do you even?
I think that it's.
I feel like Disney Plus subscriptions going up, but
yeah, the MCU is going to have a real hard time surviving if they can't bring some of the recognizable characters to the screen. They built the MCU.
I don't think you can ignore the economic situation in the U.S. I mean, agreed.
Well, that's true.
I can't imagine it's all that, but I do get what you're saying. Andre, there's no real merch options for Thunderbolts either. The characters are kind of generic anti-heroes, so the ancillary revenue streams aren't as plentiful as movies. So agreed. Well,
especially right now. Yes, you're right.
Yeah, for sure. I think Christina makes a really good point, which is basically what we've been kind of toying around with too. It's not just all the homework you got to do, but the turnaround from film to playing on Disney is way too short. JSU, just wait at home, especially if you've got a few bucks in the bank and you can afford like a 7.1 Dolby Atmos surround sound and a fucking 80-inch 4K TV in your house. Yeah. What is it really worth you to, as Myers is saying, to pay 20-ish the ticket, parking, food? No, probably not. Just watch it at home, man.
It doesn't take 6 months. It takes 6 weeks.
It takes 6
to 9 weeks, and the movies are out on Disney Plus, right?
Like, it's crazy. It'd be a year before it would be on Blu-ray, then another year before it was streaming. Now it's 60 days. It was 60 days for Brave New World.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, MCC. It's a lot. Disney at home is an expensive night in. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And Andre's getting more to my point. It's one thing to watch 3 or 4 movies a year. That's like 10 hours. It's nothing to add 30 or 40 hours of TV homework a year. And I've said this before too. I think I even have a video up on the channel about this. Remember when the movies were events? Remember when you had to go see it to see what the next movie in the journey to the Infinity Saga was going to be? Do they feel like events to you anymore?
Well, to me, because they killed that with Captain Marvel. They made you believe you needed to see Captain Marvel to go see Infinity War. It was, you can't miss Captain Marvel because you're not going to be able to understand what's going on with Infinity War. And then you find out there's nothing about Infinity War in Captain Marvel. Yeah. And she's in Infinity War for all of 3 seconds.
I don't even think she's in Infinity War for 3 seconds. He calls her at the end of Infinity War and then he disappears. Yeah. She's not even in Infinity War.
Oh, sorry. She's not even in it. That's right. She's not even in it.
No.
Yeah.
So, guys, I know we've been on this for a while. I apologize, but I wanted to make sure. And I knew, that's why I tried to end the news segment on this, because I knew a lot of people would have a lot of opinions on this. But the last thing I'm going to say on this, and then we'll move on, because I can see Rob's eye starting to twitch. The whole MCU, to me, hangs on Doomsday and Secret Wars. If Doomsday and Secret Wars are giant hits, then we're probably okay, and we'll probably get some more stuff. But if either one of those bombs, either critically or financially, I think we could be looking at some real serious trouble for the MCU.
I don't go as far as saying it that if Fantastic Four bombs, that Secret Wars may be pushed back even some more until it might disappear. Don't be surprised.
Fair. What were you going to say, Rob?
I don't think either of those movies are gonna maybe barely pass this kind of threshold we've been talking about for being a profitable movie, right?
Yeah,
we're never gonna see an Infinity War and Endgame again.
No, I agree.
In our lifetime,
no,
from
I
the
agree.
MCU, like that emotional connection to the build-up.
Yeah.
I think for a lot of people, MCU ended for them after Endgame, and the 100%. Rest is like there's no emotional investment there for me.
Yeah, they needed to reboot right then and there. I think. Yep. Not rebooting was a mistake.
Or after these two, like if they film them, they put them out, fine. Then
I feel like they tried to kind of do some soft rebooting with all the TV shows and the new characters they introduced. There was just way too many. There was just way too many.
Way too many.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, that's the news. We're 45 minutes to the podcast. I'm so sorry. I knew we'd get on that for a while, but here we are. Let's talk Batman and Deadpool. No, Andre, but maybe we'll talk about that next week.
I was like, we're almost ready to go here. No, shit, exactly. We haven't even done.
We haven't even done community news yet. God damn it! Is it time?
I know. Is it time?
It kind of feels like it.
Community news.
Sorry.
It's great every time.
I was like, I think it is. And I was going to click it. And then I
never
cut you
not
off.
time. So great.
I need to start the community news off. I know it's at the end of the list, but I want to. Oh, maybe we do it till the end. You know what?
Yeah, you know what?
Rob, what do you think?
I'm going to go through this real fast because
Okay.
I've had a busy
Fair enough.
week. I haven't been
Fair
paying
enough.
attention to what's going on in the community.
Yeah.
We'll talk really quick. And I bet you Mike Myers covered this on his Monday night show, but I unfortunately didn't watch that either. But Anime North was just this past weekend.
Mm-hmm.
You did go. I'm interested to know how it was for you, how you liked it. The weather kind of sucked apparently, but it looked like from a lot of the videos I was watching, it kind of held out for some of the fun at night. So if you did go to Anime North, let us know what you thought about it. Coming up this weekend, for those of you going, Niagara Falls Comic Con. Jeff is going.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty excited. We saw Red Moon Glass is unloading right now.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days,
She's got a booth there every year, doesn't she?
probably.
Just Megan, you guys are on Marvel and left to go shower, and I had enough time to go have a full shower and come back to you still ranting about Marvel.
Yeah. We were going so long. I was like expecting like, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, I can't believe not in our private chat. Rob wasn't like, "Can we move this the fuck along, please?" Rob's usually the one to kind of bring us back down to earth.
Yeah. So after Niagara Falls Comic Con, we got YetiCon coming up June 21st. Couple shows going on. The one you should go to is the Awesome Toy Show because that's where some of the Geeks and Co will be with some of our displays going on, especially the Iron Throne. Oh.
Yeah, we're gonna have the Iron Throne. That's gonna be fun. The next stop on the Throne Tour 2025.
Five.
Just so you guys are aware,
Brilliant.
I spoke to our friend Justin, Mr.
Road Like half it now. It's great. Oh, he hates it so much. I love it.
Did you see the short?
I know. Which? What?
Which one?
Oh, maybe. Oh, yes.
The Road Tide intro that Slicky made.
Yes, I did actually see that short.
Tide.
Yeah. So good.
So I spoke to our buddy Justin, and I think we're gonna make a Throne Tour T-shirt happen. So I have hired Justin to design us. Now I didn't even know this. Justin actually also draws. He's not just a photographer. Well, he's not just a photographer, but you know what I'm saying. So we're gonna be designing like a rock band concert tour a la Metallica style. Throne Tour 2025 T-shirt with all the stops where the throne is happening, and we should have them available at London Comic Con. So come and check them out. I'm hoping to have the design done, the T-shirt pressed, and are ready to go. There's new merch coming. New merch.
Like a Pokemon, you got to get them all.
Get your merch. Get your merch. Keep going, Rob.
I'm sorry, I was on the wrong tab. I was trying to stall so I could get over to the right spot.
Nope. Get on it, bitch. Let's do this shit.
Same day, because he didn't do a really good job checking what was going on, is the Toronto Prop Expo on June 21st. So if you're not going to be at our show,
come on.
go see John's show.
God damn it.
I saw Reed is going to be there. Reed's Prop Plus.
I believe Freakish, I think, is going to be there as well.
Is he?
I believe so.
Very cool. Definitely.
Second year in a row. Yeah, second year in a row, we have to say no to them. Last year, we were already
on a show. We've already,
last year, it was at the same days of OnCon, which we were already signed up for.
Yep.
And this year, it's at the same time as Awesome Toy Show, which we literally signed up for 3 days before I got that email.
We got to get in front of that.
Wayne on Monday, and then John emailed me,
show,
or Jennifer emailed me on I believe the Wednesday or the Thursday.
Yeah. When we have our beginning of year meeting, we should prioritize. Call John and say, when are you doing your thing? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
After that, I put this in here because I don't know what you guys think. And if you've gone to this con, let us know what you think. But Montreal Comic Con, the guests that I see coming out of that show, make me want to
big
go
show.
real bad. It looks
Yeah,
like a very cool show.
Yeah, it's a big show, and I think I've been saying it for a couple of years now. We should be at that show. The minute you guys tell me JS make it happen, one of our friends that seems to have contacts in the industry with everybody. I don't know how she gets all these things and how she knows all these people, but she literally gave me the phone number for the guy that runs Montreal Comic Con. Said just text him. I was like, really? She's like, yeah. Tell him I told you to.
Well, I mean, we did apply.
Well, we applied, but I didn't text him directly because I want to make. I mean, if we want to really be there, I could probably make that happen.
Well, take that offline, and we will. We'll
Yeah. Native's saying, "Yep, we are going. Chantel and I are gonna meet Palpatine.
Do it.
Do it." So Nita goes, "Yeah, Chantel knows everyone."
Yeah, we knew who you were talking about. Yeah.
Was it that obvious? So anyway, yeah, I would like to go to Montreal Comic Con. It's a big con, and if we can do our thing there, that means that some of my family can actually come to town, see us, right? Because they're not from Montreal, but my whole family is within a 1 hour drive from Montreal. So
Yeah,
that'd be real cool.
we got to
That'd
put it
be
on.
real cool.
I'm putting it on our must do before the
Yeah,
show
yeah.
ends.
Yeah.
And the final piece of the community news, I'm gonna transfer this over to our boy Jay to the S here. And why don't you tell us what we're gonna be doing here? We got a special screening coming up.
Yeah, so like I was saying at the top of the show, we've never done this before. We're gonna do a screening next week. We've never done this. Last year at London Comic Con, our boy G to the E off over here, with our friend Rob Bellamy, got to show off the pilot of what is now a TV show. I think Rob originally wanted to make this a movie, and I think he still plans on, after the fact, recutting this into a movie. But they filmed kind of a pilot, a test footage of 20 minutes for A Long Ride Home, which is now in production for Bell Media. Six episodes? Eight? I can't remember. Six episodes?
Yeah.
You guys are filming now.
Correct.
You filmed the last 2 weekends in a row.
Yep.
How was your second weekend?
Literally taking this weekend off, just like he scheduled it around me going to Niagara Falls Comic Con, which hilarious. I didn't realize at the time that's why we're not working this weekend. But
oh yeah, you're gonna tell me he's not gonna be there?
No.
Oh, he's not going?
No, he's not going. No, he's going to enjoy the weekend off. Yeah. So we'll cover a lot of this for next week's special presentation. But yeah, the plan is to show you guys. We're calling it a pilot now, but when we filmed it, that was not necessarily the intention. It was just the first few scenes of what was meant to be a larger work, but only if we could secure funding for more of it. Now, we have to understand Rob Bellamy, the gentleman that's JX3 Media, who's the producer, director, writer of this, has been making low-budget Canadian film content for the last 15, 20 years. Like everybody in the space in Southwestern Ontario knows Rob and has worked with Rob in some way, shape, or form. He's very, very active in the space. He hosts the Chatham International Film Festival. He goes to Blood in the Snow. He goes to all the different festivals and such. Excuse me. So he's been making these films for a long, long time and has never gotten funding for a single one. We had a screening for the film at a particular place. It wasn't at London Comic Con. It was at a different venue. And someone from Bell saw that was at the screening, or at least someone that knew someone from Bell. And they were just like, submit it. Like, what's the worst that happened? We say no, but we're looking for Canadian content to show on our network, on the Bell 5 network. And so we did, and they said yes. So they've cut us a check, and we're actually able to film. Now, what you're going to see next week, so we're calling it the pilot episode, and that's technically correct. But what you're going to see next week, it's all got to be reshot, and there is going to be some recasting, and I'll go over all that with you guys next week. But yes, we are in the midst of production right now. We filmed 2 weeks ago. We filmed last weekend. The first weekend was a little rough, as any new production is, trying to figure out logistics and such. In fact, a little inside baseball, everything we shot on the first weekend, we can't use. So, so we're a little bit behind on the Rob, don't kill me for doing the inside baseball. So we're a little bit behind on the process, but everything that we shot this past weekend was brilliant. The crew is fantastic, and I got to work with a guy named Ed, who's playing a character that is a recast in this film. Ed wasn't with us in the first time through. And Ed was an absolute joy to work with. Knew his lines, hit his marks, like the whole 9 yards. So hopefully it's going to be more of that as we move forward. And but I'm eager. I'm eager for you guys to see it. I think JS had it right. I think we'll probably have it up on the screen and we'll kind of all watch it together. It's about 18 minutes long or 19 minutes long. And we
we'll
can
still be in the chat.
Yeah, we'll have a running commentary as we're watching it. My only, I guess, request for you guys would be, obviously, if you want to light me up, go right ahead. I'm right here. I've got thick skin. I can take it. But everybody else in the film worked really hard. And they're not going to be kind of here to be in on the joke or defend themselves. So maybe don't light everybody up. And I'm happy to give you guys some inside baseball on some of the things that have happened and even why some of the recasting had to happen and everything else. But yeah, maybe don't light up the people that are on screen that aren't going to be here to be like, hey, fuck you. But go ahead and just roast me. I'm perfect. I'm pretty highly roastable in this. I know you guys haven't seen it, but for those that have, and I know a lot of you guys haven't seen it, and I think this is kind of where this idea came from as to why we're screening it here on the channel. Call it a Geeks and Company special presentation.
Yeah,
well, I wanted
to get to see
you guys
it.
didn't get
We haven't even gotten to see it.
And frankly, I don't think a lot of the people in the chat have seen it either. So because not everybody was able to be there.
Probably the only opportunity to see it.
I would assume so. Yes,
yes,
because this will not be aired in any way, shape, or form. Because
this
again,
is an
all of
exclusive, folks.
Yes, everything's
exclusive
getting
screening.
Refilmed.
Yeah, we're not
going to make it over. There is an opening sequence, like an opening montage over the credits. I think that's actually going to be in the new series, but everything else is being reshot, and some of those, like I said, are being recast. So sorry, Rob, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Oh, I was just gonna say we're not here to roast you, buddy. We're here to
No, I know, but you know, if there's a little bit of shit talk.
We know who they are.
I'm good with that. I'm all right with that. Yeah, exactly. And I'd like to point out, especially with this go around, Midlife Cosplay is going to be in the new TV series that's going to be airing on the Bell 5 network next year. As well as our good friend editor Megan. She will also have a part in that to play as well. So I was able to sneak a couple of the friends in there that didn't mind spending, that much time.
We're working on a season 2.
I don't look like a biker over here.
This is the whole thing, right? Like it's the old musician adage, right? You load up $5,000 worth of equipment to drive 500 miles to make $50. And I told our good friend Richard that I'm like, there's not really going to be a whole lot in the way it's being funded, but I mean, there's not going to be a lot in the way of money for you. And he's like, I don't care. I want to do this. So for you guys getting all the way to Chatham just to be background bikers and barely be paid anything, I was like, I don't think I'm going to make the boys do that. But yes, if there's a season, if Bell wants a season 2, which I guess is possible, some of these smaller Canadian productions that they have had multiple seasons. So
You're right.
We'll see what happens, but this will at least give you guys sort of like a bit of a teaser or taster as to what we are working on and what it will look like. Now we have since upgraded equipment, and even the camera that we're using now. The camera that we're using now is an ARRI camera, ARRI, which is what they literally use to film television shows. Like the footage I've seen so far looks like a television show. Like it's actually kind of crazy how much it looks like that. So. It'll be interesting. The pilot was not filmed on that style camera, so make sure keep your expectations. Set your expectations. The first pilot we shot on our dime, on our time. No one was paid. There was no funding. We were all eating bologna sandwiches and doing this on our free time on the weekends. So the actual TV series that we're shooting now is going to look a little bit different than that. But for some reason, Bell was like, "Oh, we'll keep that Jeff McClellan guy in there. He's fine." So we'll talk about more about that next week when we screen it. But yes, that's the plan for next week. So hopefully you guys will tune in and you guys can see the original product and where it all started.
Yeah, keep in mind, we're not going to be getting a sneak peek at the new show that is being shot now. We're going to be seeing the footage that was shot, you said last year. I feel like it was already 2 years ago. You keep saying last year, but...
No, it's 2024. Yeah. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
He had a chance to kind of tour it around. Like again, that's why it showed at LCC last year. The gentleman that we're working with, our friend Walter Riggy, who has been in Hollywood and done things for years and years and years and years. Not only does our camera work, he's also our DP and our editor. So like he gets the stuff and he's just like boom, 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 and he makes it look brilliant and great. Especially since he's the guy doing most of the camera work in the first place, so he kind of knows what he wants to get. He still defers to Rob because Rob's our director, but. The two communicate very, very well. Rob's like, well, I want to do this. And Walter's like, well, then we're going to have to shoot it like this. So by the time that's all said and done, when it comes time to edit it, I feel like Walt's already kind of like ahead of the game because he's so involved in the shots and how they're set up. So that makes it very a quicker turnaround time, I think, for getting like a finished product out there. So Yeah, it's going to be something. I think there's 81 scenes to shoot, and I'm in 69 of them. So it's your boy's going to be working all spring, summer, and fall long. Most of my weekends are going to be spent in Chatham. So if you're wondering why I'm unavailable for social events, that's why. That's so exciting. Yeah,
very cool.
It's something.
Yeah,
it'll be something. A long ride home trilogy. Yeah, same midlife. Absolutely. How great would that be? Yeah. So hopefully we can get some folks watching it. You will have to be a Bell subscriber to see it. But I also know. Okay, so sorry. So really quickly before I get out of this, I'm so sorry. So Bell will have exclusive rights to it for 90 days to show it.
We'll talk about all this next week.
I know. I just really quickly. And then I'm out. They'll have 90 days to show it exclusively. After that, we can then get the film back and do what they want. But they'll have it actually for 5 years. They can show it as much as they want. So I'm going to encourage you guys to watch the TV show if you can, if you're able to do so in any manner, so that we do get a season 2. Because maybe on that funding list we can get like another 0 put on the end of that funding check, and your boy can finally get out of this fucking hellhole rat race of a regular 9-to-5 job he's got and just go be a highly paid actor. 69 scenes of how I'm making you a shirt now. Fuck off. I'm going to go recount those.
It's already in production.
71 scenes. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, yes, we'll talk way more about it next week. So be prepared for that, guys. We're probably not going to have all the regular segments. It's probably just going to be all about the pilot and the new show.
Yeah. We're not going to have. I mean, if there's any pertinent news we want to talk about quickly, but I don't think so. I think we're going to be mostly. That's going to be the episode next week.
Yep.
That being said, this week
Rob's like, oh God, I'm going to be.
Steve in the chat is up to shenanigans with his comments.
Oh yeah,
I see that. 69 scenes, then a long ride home. Christ. Good Lord.
Oh boy,
right now.
Hi. How are you? I think it's time.
Yeah.
Or did you know?
That graphic needs work. That graphic is trash. Trash. That one is. That one needs work.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Terrible. That's your favorite? Brutal.
Oh, it's so bad. It's funny.
Yeah.
I think I did that in like Adobe Express to boot or something silly like that.
Just a one shot.
Terrible.
Yeah. Guys,
you know what? It's not the X-wing, and it's not even the Did You Know? It's that cheesy ass fire explosion at the end with the logo in the middle. No, sir. No, thank you. Terrible.
Oh my God.
Did you know? So in the original Starship Troopers movie, I don't know if you guys, I don't know if there's a lot of people old enough to remember Starship Troopers in this chat. But in the original movie, there's a shower scene where they're fully nude, and apparently the actors were like, "Listen, like this is a little weird. We'll do it, but you have to be nude as well." To the director, and I'm assuming probably the crew.
Paul Verhoeven, by the way, is the director.
Yeah, he's like, hold my beer. He's like, my pants are already off. So they shot that whole shower scene naked, including the director, naked with them in the shower scene. That's I mean,
it feels like it's before there were intimacy coordinators on
yeah.
I was just gonna say, it feels like
how does everybody else tell this story?
I'll shoot this scene, but only with my dick out. That's the only way I'm shooting this. Only if I can have my tallywhacker hanging out. That's the only way I'm doing it.
Did you guys know? I think they're rebooting or doing another Starship Troopers movie. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, I heard that, but
from District 9 filmmaker Neil Blomkamp.
Yeah,
Blomkamp. Sony movie.
Yeah,
I heard that. I'm not sure if there's truth to it, but back in March, these stories were going around.
I mean, it's a great IP, and I'd be all for some kind of a modern retelling or retake, especially if they lean a little more heavily into what it's supposed to be, which is a satire, which I don't think a lot of people got from the first kind of go around. But Blomkamp has made one good movie and a bunch of trash ones, so I'm a little concerned that it's Blomkamp. District 9 was great. Elysium was not. Chappie was atrocious, and then whatever his horror movie was that came out after that, which I can't even remember the name of, was even worse than that. So it's kind of like he's starting to feel a little bit like a one-hit wonder. You know what I mean?
Put it that way, and now I'm concerned. Yeah, because you're right. It was very satirical. Yeah.
Yeah. So if they lean more heavily into the satire side of it, almost like the original RoboCop, where they lean super heavy into the satire, but they still give you enough of that sci-fi action kind of thing, but you still get that it's a satire. That's kind of what I'm looking for sure. So, yeah.
I mean, that's where Starship Troopers shined, right? That's why it built such a following. Is that exactly?
I'm doing my part.
And
Right?
yeah.
Would you
There you
like
go.
to know more?
I'm doing my part.
Yeah. Love that shit.
Right?
You're right. That's where it shines. That's where it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's like that, I think it might be good. There's another Big Bug franchise that's also coming out with a movie around the same time frame as well. So I don't know. Hopefully this does well, and hopefully it restarts a whole new series of movies for that franchise.
What's the other Big Bug?
I forget what this other movie, but there's another movie in a similar military fighting big bugs that is going to be coming out in the same time frame, and I think it might be based on a video game. Actually, I can't remember now.
Sure.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's based.
Are
on
you Rob? Are you googling?
I am. So I
Bug
typed in big bug movie military fighting coming out soon.
Yeah,
And I got nothing. I got
Nothing.
nothing but Starship
Crickets.
Troopers.
Yeah. I would also like a Spaceballs too. The search for more money. Absolutely. I literally just watched Spaceballs this past weekend because it's never not a good watch. So.
Helldivers.
Oh, let me hit,
Helldivers.
Helldivers.
let me hit you with another. Did
Thank
you know
you.
really quickly? By the way, I'm going to hit you with
Thanks to
another.
producer Jen, who
Yeah.
poked her head down the stairs to tell me that it was Helldivers.
I'm going to give you another really quick. Did you know? Talking about Spaceballs. I'm not going to save this for next week. I'll just do this right now, really quickly. Spaceballs, of course, is a huge Star Wars ripoff. Mel Brooks, who produced and directed Spaceballs, went to George Lucas beforehand and said, "I want to parody Star Wars, like almost this entire movie is a giant parody of Star Wars. Are you okay with that?" And George Lucas says, "I'm okay with it on one condition: you cannot sell a scrap of merchandise." Which is, and they didn't. Which is why midway through the film, when they meet Yogurt, they make such a huge deal about merchandising everything in the movie, but they weren't allowed to actually do any merchandise for the film whatsoever. The only thing they did was Spaceballs the movie, Spaceballs the soundtrack, and Spaceballs the poster. It was the only merchandise that came out related to the film. All the merchandise that you see in the film was created for this film specifically and was never sold after that. So,
Oh,
Yep.
I didn't know that. That's
Yep.
a good one. I mean, George Lucas and listen, the major part of their business was the merchandising.
yes,
That's how they made billions of dollars. Let's be honest, right? Lucasfilm made a bunch of money on merchandise, so I
Yep.
get it.
Yep.
And Jennifer was saying no, it was actually Joshua.
nice, good job.
Josh saying it was Helldivers. Yeah, I've never played the game, so I don't really know anything about it. But
People saying 40K and Space Marines. Yeah, that's going to be
that one.
TV. That's going to be TV though. That's going to be on the TV side on Amazon in conjunction with Henry Cavill. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that, seeing what that's all about.
cool, man.
Josh Gad and Mel Brooks were working on a Spaceball sequel. Really?
I've been hearing that for years and years and years, and I've been, from what I understand, it's stuck in development hell. So
Yeah, I can't imagine that would happen at this point.
I don't. Yeah, I think its time is probably past at this point. But but you know what? Go back and rewatch it because it holds up really well.
It does.
Like really, really well.
Marcy saying Paul's obsessed with Helldivers. Yeah, I know the costumes when I see people come up because everybody's saying, "Oh, Helldivers, Helldivers."
Yeah,
So I
same.
recognize it now, but I've never even
And I
seen.
think it's Helldivers 2, by the way, as well. I don't even think it's the original Helldivers.
Oh,
think
maybe,
the
I don't
they're
know.
Basing it on is Helldivers 2.
I don't know. Steve saying I've been playing Space Marines 2.
Yes, very, very popular, based on Warhammer 40K.
Okay, so lately it's freaking amazing. I've never played any 40K or Warhammer previously, so it's very different, but it's a great game. So it's based on, but it's a completely different game.
Helldivers isn't based on Warhammer 40K.
Space Marines.
Yes.
So Space Marines 2 is completely different, separate from Warhammer 40K.
No, it is a Warhammer 40K game.
Oh, okay.
Helldivers is?
No, Space Marines 2.
Hi, how are you?
Helldivers 2 is its own thing. Space Marine 2 is based on Warhammer 40K.
Yeah.
Okay. You don't just kill bugs; you kill all the Xenos, all the aliens. They're all bad.
Right.
All of them are bad.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
We don't focus on one thing of bugs. We focus on everybody that's
All of
not
them.
us in Warhammer.
All of them.
40K. Yeah, Warhammer 40K is the birthplace of that grim, darker, grim, dank future where everything's bad at the end of the in the
it's
future.
like a techno science future where.
But it's the dankest, grimmest. Like the tagline for Warhammer 40K is in the grim, dark future there is only war. That's literally the tagline for the entire property, which has been around since 1996. So it's super, super, super fucking depressing, is what it is, because there's no good guys. Everything's bad. Helldivers 2 takes a lot of inspiration from Starship Troopers. Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, Warhammer not so much. Warhammer is more off of Dune, if to be honest with you.
My understanding is
Warhammer
Legendary putting out both. Warhammer was also a tabletop game, yes.
It still is. They call
which
it
came first. Oh, is one based off the other? Like, do we have a 40K video game because of the board game, or all the way around?
No, the tabletop game's been out since 1986 for Warhammer.
There you go.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, we're talking some deep ass nerd shit. Like this is like, and it's a very
highlight how quickly you knew that too.
Yeah,
deep nerd shit. Like, it came out in 1986.
There's there's 3 different levels to it because it's tabletop, right? So because it's been around since 86 and it's based on this sprawling, huge, multi-millennia storyline, there's over 60 novels that have come out to describe the Warhammer universe as well. So there's a glut of lore. So you can get into Warhammer 40K just for the lore. There's people that are into it like me that have never played a single second of the tabletop game or a single second of any of the video games. I just like reading the books and reading about and watching stuff about all the lore. Right. And then there's some guys like our good friend Alex, who we've had on the podcast. He has his armies. Like, you buy the little figures and you paint them yourself and you field armies onto a battlefield. And that's the actual tabletop game. He doesn't know dick lick about the lore, and he's not interested in the lore. He just wants to play the game. And then there's other people that just buy the models just to paint them, and that's just cool, and they just collect them, and they don't play the game or do the lore. So there's like tiers of the hobby that's been around for like years or whatever, right? So, and
I think that's why it's been so popular and why it's still so popular, right?
Yeah. So Henry Cavill is a massive. He's been playing Warhammer 40K since he was 10 years old. By the way, it's a very British thing too. It's like Doctor Who. It was started in England, right? So that's people across the pond in England is a little more popular there. And yeah, Henry Cavill's like a huge fucking nerd, and he's like at the forefront with Amazon trying to develop a live action series for Warhammer. So we'll see what happens.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Elfie the engineer is saying, you call yourself Geeks JS and Rob, get Jeff the Geeks and Co crown. I mean,
wealth of useless information.
Yeah, I'll admit I'm not a tabletop guy at all. I'm more of a board game. I'm more of a tile game guy than a
Zombie Dice. You guys still playing Zombie Dice?
Actually, we still play Zombie Dice. We got a new one called Pirate Dice.
Was that like same concept?
Same concept, but it involves cards.
Oh, okay.
But kind of similar type of idea.
Next time I'm down, we'll have to play.
Yeah, so yeah, we play a lot of dice games as well, but we play a lot of tile games.
Oh yeah, you like Carcassonne and shit, right?
Carcassonne. We got a new one called Flowers. Azul. We've got 2 different versions of Azul, which is
nice.
They're actual little tiles that you gotta. Yeah. Anyway, we like those kinds of games. What can I say?
Nice. No, that's good, man.
What's he saying here? It's going to hit hard because he's such a big fan and he's part of the production. It should be a fantastic show. I can't wait. Well, I mean, listen,
so was Witcher, but that kind of fell off a fucking cliff. So
that fell off a cliff, but he was pretty open about the fact that it fell off a cliff because they didn't want to make the show based on the actual story, right?
Right. So that's why I'm hoping he's going to be more heavily involved on the production side of things, on the Warhammer stuff, so he can ensure that it's going to be a lot more. Just get ready, guys, because when it comes out, if it does stick to the lore, it's going to be depressing as fuck.
Yeah.
It's not a fun story. Everybody's bad. Everything's terrible.
Marcy's asking, is it like Magic the Gathering? Which game are you talking about? I mentioned probably like 12 there, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about.
Well, that's a trading card game.
Yeah, I do. I did place a lot of Magic in college.
Did you really?
I did.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was a white and black deck.
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it was a very weird combination, but when my cards came, oof, watch out. That's
the nerdiest words that have ever come out of your mouth, bro. My cards come up. Watch out. Ooh.
We also play.
Where's Sophie and the engineer? I think I can hand the crown back to the Magic the Gathering nerd over here because that's.
I also
got into that.
We still play a lot of Dungeon Mayhem, D&D Dungeon Mayhem. It's kind of like a simplified version of Magic, but using D&D characters like Blorp and like a Mimic and so on and so forth. So
Blorp.
Yeah, Blorp, the gelatinous cube. You don't know what a Blorp is? Come on, dude. See, and you called him the king of geeks? He doesn't know what a Blorp is?
We need more optimistic
Jamie
sci-fi. I need more than just Trek. Everything else is so depressing. You have Star Wars. You have Star Trek. Settle down.
Where are Jamie and Caleb when you need them?
How much more optimistic future sci-fi? I'm tired of optimistic future sci-fi. I want grim, dark, dank, depressing shit.
Yeah, more violence.
Yeah, that's what I want. And that's it, boy. You want violence? Warhammer 40K is your fucking bag because they have chainsaw swords. They have chainsaw swords.
Yeah,
strictly to fuck up Xenos. So the Xenos, the mutant, the heretic, they almost die, and you're gonna kill them, and it's fucking glorious.
Yeah, I'm kind of with these guys. Unfortunately, I was just last night thinking about The Expanse and how much I missed that show.
So good,
and how much I need something like that to come back. Right, that dark, gritty, warring, intrigue, solving puzzles. Like The Expanse was so good.
No, it was wonderful. It was fantastic. And we're never going to see its like again because no one's going to take a chance on that kind of show again, unfortunately.
Which is too bad because it was
just going to get endless Star Wars series that nobody gives a shit about.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Alrighty.
Well, it's been an hour and 16 minutes. Maybe we should wrap this shit up.
Yeah, I think we're going to end it there. I think for tonight, I think we've yapped enough. You know what? We're not. I just want to mention here, we're not going to end it now.
Rob's like, God damn it, I'll call us out.
No. Jeff here is going to Niagara Falls this weekend, and he's going to be working with a specific group that we're going to actually make our cosplay corner. That's right. This week on the Cosplay Corner, we're going to talk about cosplay for a cause. It's our good old friend here, G to the E off. This is going to be their mouthpiece this weekend. That's right. They're going to be running meetups all weekend at Niagara Falls Comic Con. And I should probably back up a little bit here and mention again, we through these cosplay corners and all of this, we've tried to focus on people that obviously do more for the community. And these guys
look at Rob's name, and now he changed his shit.
Charity organization.
Rob has to pee. Brilliant.
Oh, you got to go.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be distracted.
Oh my God, that's so great. Sorry, continue.
Carry on. Start over.
Yeah. It's when it's one of those nights, right? Yeah.
You know what you're getting into. I also have to pee. It's fine.
All right. Cosplay for a cause. Jeffrey. So charity group, support of Breast Cancer Foundation. They raise money at every event that they're at. They every so often will run their, what do they call it? Rest, repair, and refresh, rest, repair, refresh stations. They must have it in one of these here. There it is right there. The rest, repair, refresh station where, if you're getting tired, if, you're not feeling well, you can break your costume. You need someone to help you out. You can go check these guys out. They have booths everywhere. Now I don't think they necessarily have the relax, repair, refresh at every con.
Right.
If I could be wrong there. But this weekend they're hosting all of the meetups at Niagara Falls Comic Con. How many meetups are they having? Do you know in total?
A lot. I can count them for you. Hold on. excuse me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 themed meetups throughout the entire weekend, ranging from video game characters, Marvel characters, Disney characters, anime and cartoons, horror characters, sci-fi characters, you name it. There's going to be something there for you. By the way, the red carpet's also right there as well. So similar to when we had our booth at Fan Expo the one year, we were right across from the red carpet. I think it's very similar in the setup here. So it's going to be us, the red carpet. Lindy Cosplay Supplies is going to be right beside us as well. Excuse me. She's also donating stuff for the cosplay contest, much like she does for CK Expo. So you're going to have the red carpet, and you're going to have all these theme meetups, and Cosplay for a Cause is also going to be running the cosplay contest as they always do at Niagara Falls Comic Con. So they're wearing a lot of hats. And what they don't have is just some loudmouth jerk to get people to come over and do all these theme shoots and meetups and such. So that loudmouth jerk is, for some reason, I'm spotlighted on here. I don't know why. I really prefer we didn't do this. If we can get us back to something that's all of us, that would be fantastic. Thank you very much. Don't ever fucking do it again.
Well, hey, you're the loudmouth.
I will be
right?
the loudmouth. I will be. God, that's awful, horrifying. Don't do that. Yeah, I will be the guy that's trying to get everybody to come over and participate in that. So if you've been to Niagara Falls Comic Con before, Saphira is going for the first time. That's great. That's awesome. It's a great con as far as the community is fantastic. The venue is really, really good. Getting into the place is not always the best. The lineups are pretty fucking horrendous, but once you're in, it's a great con to be at. And of course, once you're there, you're in Niagara Falls. So the after stuff is also glorious. You know, if you've never seen the falls before, if you've never been to Clifton Hill and all that jazz, there's so much to do in Niagara Falls as well. But we'll be in the main hall. So as you're literally coming in, you can't help but walk past us to get into the rest of the con. So you're going to see us. You're going to come across, and some guy either with a megaphone or a pocket speaker or something is going to be telling you to come on in and participate in some of these themed photo shoots throughout the entire weekend. That's where I'm going to be spending nearly all of my time. Yeah. It's a great event. It's a cool event. I'm not always super thrilled with how Niagara Falls Comic Con treats cosplay in the first place. I wish they had a better or greater or bigger focus on it, and not just on the bigger key groups, but some of the other groups like us and some of the other ones and such. But we're getting there slowly but surely, baby steps on trying to build out a little more support for the cosplay at that convention. So, and if you're wondering, like size wise, like it's probably like the third biggest convention in the region, like after the first two big Toronto ones. It's a big con. It's a big, huge convention center. A lot of people come out for it. They pack that place all 3 days. So if you've ever had to stand in the lineup to wait to get in there, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it's. I want to say it's probably like size.
Toronto Comic Con size.
Yeah.
I would suggest probably something similar.
Yeah.
As far as that goes, it's a little more. I don't want to say flea markety, but that's what I'm gonna. The entire main area is really just one big. There are a couple of little community booths, but it is mostly just one big sale. The sales area got so big, they actually moved the celebrities out of the main area, and they have the celebrities in a completely separate area now, so that they could have more of that. But there's also comic creators and such too. Like that's all there, and they usually snag a couple of really good guests. Although they do focus heavily on the wrestling side of things. If you're a big wrestling fan, like especially like a Legacy, the lineup sucks, as Marcy. Yeah, this year it's a little bit suspect. There's no question. But if you're a wrestling fan, especially like a Legacy wrestling fan, there's definitely going to be some stuff here for you to see for sure. Mm-hmm. But Cosplay for a Cause is heavily involved. They're a fantastic group. They come out to all the major cons. And they usually offer something, whether it's the Rest and Relax, whether it's helping you with repairs, whether it's, you know what I mean, raising money for Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation, whether it's hosting cosplay contests, whatever it is, they're heavily involved and they're happy to be doing so. They used to be Cosplay for a Cure, so it's that same group. They've just changed the name a little bit. So, yeah, fantastic people. I'm very, very fortunate to get to work with them.
Very nice.
Yep. Now can we get out of here?
We sure can. We sure can.
Woo! I got to pee so bad.
Oh,
I know. Two beers during the podcast will do that.
Yeah, I can't hold his bladder for an hour and 24 minutes.
Old man.
Oh, yeah.
Rob, but your buddy Rob has to pee.
Yeah, well, listen, have fun at Niagara Falls, guys.
Thanks, man.
You are going to be going to Niagara Falls Comic Con. Have a great time. We're not going to be there. We were there last year, and quick funny story: when we saw the lineup last year, we turned around and we went for lunch. Yeah,
Really?
The lineup was literally around the building, around the arena. Like it was bonkers.
What's the bottleneck there? Like
The
Just,
entrance.
security? Like
There's 2 doors going in.
It's, do you know, Toronto is similar, but they make you go through this winding path and then up escalators and then over into it. So like the whole line is like you're in the building and it feels like you're in the con, but you're not yet. So Niagara doesn't have any of that. You wait outside. So the lineup literally goes like around the entire building to you're standing like back near the fucking parking lot, and it feels like it's going to take, once the line gets moving, it moves super fast. But getting to the end of that line, you're like, fuck this, man.
This is going to sound a little bad too, but now that I think about it, I don't think I've stood in a line to get into a con. Certainly in the last 5 years.
Yeah, and that's why when I got there and I saw that lineup, I was like, nope, I'll come back when it's a little bit later.
Yeah.
Like,
it is the one big advantage to that con, and I don't think there's really any way to fix it, unfortunately. So, yeah, here we are. What are you going to do?
mm-hmm.
Well, you have fun.
Yeah,
you have a good time. Everybody in the chat, you guys
plan on remembering nothing.
Hey, that's okay. That's okay. I'm sure there will be plenty of pictures and videos.
I'm sure there will.
Guys, if you're still with us, thank you very much. Make sure you click that like button. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I don't know what you're doing. I mean, we've been around for, holy fuck, almost 4 years now, haven't we?
I think we're on
186 episodes.
Well, the big 200's coming up faster than
episode is coming up. We got to figure out what we're going to do, guys.
What is this one? What's this one?
I believe it's 186 or 187. I can't be sure.
That's a lot.
A lot to ask from this time, but it's a lot of episodes. We got to do something for 200. I don't know what that's going to be, but I feel like we got to do something cool, something different, something fun
with some riz.
If you guys have any ideas for what we should do for 200, please let us know. We're more than happy to. Maybe a celeb we could possibly get on the podcast for the old episode 200, or maybe we could reach out ourselves to see if we can get a special guest to join us, or if you've got a theme that you think we should do for episode 200, let us know in the comments below, or
we're not doing a top
10 DM. We're not doing a top 10. Fuck that.
No, not doing a top 10 for episode 200.
Top 10 Geeks and Co episodes for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you all stay geeky, and I'm gonna just keep pointing at you. And I'll
you
see
do like the
week.
point. You really do. You're a pointer. If you were a dog, you'd be a pointer.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Geek Boutique Podcast. Like always, if you prefer to listen to us, you can find us on all major podcast platforms. Now, make sure you don't forget to click that like and subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, to make sure you never miss an